Hello, David.
Hi, how are you?
It's great to have you here. And first of all, like the foundation itself, you faced many crises while developing season one, like the departure of Josh Friedman, the production shutting down because of the pandemic. So after overcoming all those difficulties, and also I think that the biggest one, which was adapting Asimov's books, which challenges came with expanding the world in season two?
Well, sadly, we still had to contend with COVID because season one, our crew was in a bubble and we had chartered flights from country to country. We actually never, other than the initial lockdown, had to contend with any of that. But season two, that aspect was more difficult. Season two, the biggest challenge was obviously trying to expand our palette and trying to be even more ambitious, much to the dismay of my partners. But, you know, as a viewer, I want to see my worlds expand and get bigger and more majestic. We encountered a lot of challenges just because we do most of our, or a good portion of our filming on actual location, at least half of it. So we had a lot of weather challenges. We had snowstorms in the Canary Islands that weren't supposed to have snow. We had a lightning storm in a cactus desert where I was filming that shut us down for a day. Flash floods. We had a super swell that completely destroyed our set that we had to then recreate in a parking lot in Prague. We had just a lot of unexpected challenges that we had to adapt to. And I think one of the other challenges was simply the fact that it takes so long to make this show. We're on the ground for something like 9 months, and it's just an endurance struggle for the cast, for the crew, for people like myself. If we're isolated from our families, sometimes our families come and go. It's really hard. That's probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah, and I read in your website, which is really nicely designed, by the way, that when
I'll let my web designer know.
Yeah, that when David Ellison offered you this gig, the Foundation show, you were working at the last Terminator movie, and you were next to James Cameron. He told you that it was a hard one. So
Yes.
I don't know if.
Yes,
I think that
true.
after you just told me is real. So why would you say that for so long this was labeled as something nearly impossible? I mean, to turn that complex work of Asimov into something more accessible, but still faithful to the books.
It's incredibly hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever worked on. And on any given day, you know, depending on the day, I might say, I'm so grateful I did it. And on other days I say, oh my God, why did I take on this challenge? And sometimes my wife is bemoaning the fact that I took on the challenge. It's hard, but it's also exciting. And it's forced me to grow as a filmmaker and an artist. And I think if I just did a lean back and did something easy, I would be really bored and I'd probably quit the business.
And after working in Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Call of Duty, you've done a lot of things. Which things would you say that make the Foundation universe unique and relevant?
I think all of those things help to prepare me for adapting Asimov, because this is by far the most complex thing I've ever worked on. And the fact, that just trying to make it accessible for a non-science fiction audience is very difficult, because it's not, the source material was no longer considered part of popular culture in the way that Batman perhaps, or, you know, the Terminator was, or something like that. That's probably the biggest challenge.
Okay, thank you so much, David. Have a very nice day, and I hope that everything goes well with this season and with the next ones that are yet to come.
Thank you so much.